Awesome. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be maybe our last video. If people find things they want us to look at and want me to make another video about, I will absolutely make another video. But for what I have planned, I think this will be our last one for now. And today we're going to talk about how you export results in your video analysis. So you've done all this amazing work. It's time to write a report, turn it in, give it to your teacher, something like that. How do we do that? You know, that's the real question, is how do we've done all this work on this website, what do we do now? So here's what we're gonna learn. One, how do you export a video frame? That's our first thing. Two, how do we export a graph? We worked on this graphs a lot, how do we export them? And then three, how do we export a data table? Okay, those are our three things. Let's dive in, let's do video first. So here's where we started off. There we go, I am back. We have, I'll move me over here. We have our graph on the far top right. Over here, we have our graph. Over here, we have our video. And then down here, we have our data table. So how do we export our video? So up here, there's this little, let me get me out of the way. There's this little video, this little like menu kind of thing up here. And you can export, click export here. And then what this will pull up, hopefully, there it goes, it's thinking. There's a lot happening on my computer right now. It is thinking. We want to do a video, we want to export a video. So if you notice, it'll only show you what a video frame. Go to video. It'll only show you the one video frame. And you can export the video frame by clicking on Save PNG. And it'll download that PNG. And it'll give you just the one frame that you're on. Okay, so say that's this exact frame that we're on right here. That's what it's gonna, if I zoom all the way out, that's what it'll give us. Awesome, so that's how you export a video frame. You can't export the whole video, but you can export it a single frame. So I guess you could, I mean, in theory, export all the frames, but yeah, it's a lot of work. But you could, it's doable. Let's next work on how do we export this graph. We made this awesome graph over here. How do we export it? So we're under graph. See over here, we're on graph. Get me out of the way. And you have these three options. Line shade. You can make things darker, make things easier to read. I'll let that pull up. You can also change the size of the font in case if things are hard to read. Again, you can make things bigger. So there, that made all the lines, the major and minor axis lines here, bigger. You can change the font size on your axes, change the font size on your axes. And then you can also change the aspect ratio or the proportions of how big the graph is. 4:3 is almost like a square. The other option is 16:9, which is what most like photographs are normally. But it's just whatever you want to do. So that's how you export the graph. Once again, you'll click Save PNG. Come on. It's thinking. It's working real hard. Okay, so now how do we export this data table? So there's no export button anywhere on this to export the data table, sadly. But what I found works best is you can click on any cell, and then you do Command or Control A to select everything. So Command A. Then you can Command or Control C, copy it. And then if you open up a fresh spreadsheet, this is Google Sheets. You can do the same thing in Excel. I believe it would work. And you can do Command V or Control V, and it'll dump all your data set in. So now you have a record of your data set as well if you need that for a report or anything like that. Notice it doesn't do the column labels. So you'll need to insert a row above here and put in the column labels up here. So that way you know what is what. Awesome. So we've done a lot today so far. Let's go back. We have learned how to export a video frame, learned how to export a graph, and we learned how to export the data table. And that is it. Over these 7 videos, you've learned everything you need to know to be fully proficient in video analysis. So if you have any questions about anything, make sure you go back, watch all the videos. Thank you so much for checking this out. And I will see y'all later. see y'all later. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Peace. Later, y'all.